Today is a very special day. It is brown box day, so if you see in front of you, there's a giant brown box. And it's Haslab day, and inside this box is my Haslab Liokaiser. So, as you can see, this box is too big for my review area, and it is gorgeous. So this is my third Transformers Haslab, and I'm sure you've already seen videos on Liokaiser because this isn't new. I'm not the first person to get this. I'm in Canada, in Ontario, and some people in America were receiving theirs last week already, and I just got mine on May 25th. So I want to document this because this is really special. I kind of documented my first Haslab, which was Victory Saber, I received him in December of 2022, I believe. So I'll put some clips up of that. Look at this guy. Oh my god, any scratches? Any scratches? Look at that. Oh my god, it's got all the Victory characters. Sick artwork of Victory Saber. Oh, there's Deathsaurus. Wow. And then I got the next Haslab right after that. I backed Deathsaurus, and I received him December 2023 like everybody else. And I don't think I have any videos of him, but I have some pictures of when I opened him and I was beyond excited. And I didn't back Unicron, the first Transformers Haslab, because it was just too much money. Looking back, I should have, even from just an investment standpoint, even though never invest in toys. But Unicron goes for crazy money on the aftermarket still to this day. But for me at the time, he was too much money and he was too big. My Transformers collection takes up so much space as is. Don't know where I'd put a Unicron. And then the Omega Prime situation was crazy. It was crazy. So part of me really wanted to get Omega Prime, but at the time it was a lot of money, and I don't like having multiple versions of the same character. I used to have the Combiner Wars Liokaiser when I was a kid, and that one was pretty special to me. I really wanted it, and my mom was able to find it for me and get it for me for Christmas, so that was a special figure. Liokaiser was a figure that I never thought we would ever get again in Generation. Like, it's an obscure pick, which we're used to now, but at the time in Combiner Wars, I never thought we'd get another Liokaiser again. And yes, it was weird. Yeah, you didn't get the Jaguar guy. You just got that weird Skylynx repaint as a torso, but it was still cool. And I really loved the Combiner Wars line because even though all the figures were kind of just the same base mold, just with different parts, it gave the line a cool, like, unified look where everybody had a similar frame, and then what they put on that frame made them look different. A lot of them have gotten weaker. They don't hold up as well. And I do love the frame combiners. So I think accuracy is better because the frame combiners just look so screen accurate, and I really love it. So I did sell my Combiner Wars Liokaiser, and I kind of regretted it at the time, but I knew this was coming, and this looks perfect. I love the Japanese G1 series, whether it's Headmasters, Super God Master Force, Victory, or even the Beast Wars shows. I really like Beast Wars Neo and Beast Wars Second. Out of all of them, I know a lot of people Victory is their favorite, but for me, I think Super God Master Force is my favorite. I just like the story. They're all really good, and if you've never seen any of the Japanese Transformers shows, check them out they're on YouTube, so you can just check them out somewhere. So first things first, I want to check out this box because this box is beautiful. So we have a really, really nice illustration of Liokaiser. I might even be saying his name wrong. Maybe it's Liokaiser. I just like to say Liokaiser. And a really, really nice chrome Legacy logo up here. Even though Legacy's done, he's still part of Legacy. And then we see a really nice shot of the Victory cast. Like, we have everybody, and it blows my mind that we have a Deathcobra. I know it's a stretch goal, but still, this is insane. And a beautiful Victory logo. On the side, we have a nice chrome purple. Again, all like Victory. All the characters that make up the Combiner. And wow, here we have him in all his glory on the back of the box. And they're really showing off that Deathcobra. So, again, really blown away that this thing even exists and that I was lucky enough to back this. Like, Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. So, yeah, gorgeous box. I always keep my Haslab boxes, and you can see him on top again, on the bottom. He's even on the bottom there. So I always try and keep all my Haslab boxes just because they're special and they're really cool. I used to keep so many boxes, but now I only keep like Japanese figures or hard to find exclusives. So let's open them up. So I think it's gonna be best if we shoot this on a 0.5 lens. And wow, this thing is packed. I saw videos, or I saw photos of the Omega Prime Haslab, and it was really packed in here too, really well. And I do kind of regret not getting the Omega Prime Haslab, but after the fiasco that was his QC, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I was really, really on the fence about getting him. And then I was like, well, I'm not that into RID01. Like, it's a really cool design, but what am I going to do with him? I already have like the G1 Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime that I love so much, and that's my definitive Prime and Magnus. So it was a really, really cool set, but I ultimately skipped out on it, and I'm glad I did, because I know people got the replacement parts for Optimus Prime, but still, it was such a hassle and such a huge issue. So, oh my god. Let's start with this one. The reveal, wow. You guys can't see anything. Hold on. So we have a beautiful instruction booklet. This might be the nicest instruction booklet I've ever seen on a retail figure. Like, this art is beautiful. I forget the artist's name, but I do follow him on Instagram. And wow, full color pages. They really went all out. That is awesome. Okay. So this is the box we're going to start with. And it has all the accessories. This is nuts. So the first tray is all of his weapons. His electro none something. Wow, it's even got little chains. Like, this is so cool. So cool. So, oh, here's the display. This is a massive display base. So if you guys backed Deathsaurus and Victory Saber, like, Victory Saber's stand was big, but it wasn't this big. This is kind of nuts. This is crazy. And Deathsaurus was really big too, because it came with the throne, but this is, oh, no way. These feel really, really solid, even though, like, these are hunks of plastic. Wow, okay. All right, so on to box 2. What do we get in here? We get, oh, all the jets, and they are colorful. Wow. So we have our Deathcobra, our Skyhawk, and our Liozak, however you want to pronounce it. Nice little plastic tray. Wow, these are hefty jets. Like, in all the photos, I assumed that they'd be Combiner Wars jet sized, but I think these are bigger. These guys are pretty hefty. And all the chest force, breast force, if you wanna be totally accurate here. I'm gonna say chest force because breast force is kind of weird. This is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted this set, because the Combiner Wars version didn't have these, and I think these are such a fun inclusion. They're like Target Masters and Power Masters all in one, and I think it's so awesome that Hasbro gave us all of their breast force or chest force members. Like, I love little stuff like this, little accessories. Like, if they're making a Target Master character, I want their Target Master, and if they're making a Headmaster, I want it to be a Headmaster. Like, if they're doing a new Chrome Dome, I want it to be a Headmaster. If they're doing a new Sure Shot, I want it to be a Headmaster. And when it doesn't include the Headmaster or the Target Master, it kind of bugs me. Same with the Power Master stuff. So, like, when they can give you everything all in one package, to me it's perfect. Like, look at these. Look how cute this guy is. That's crazy. So this makes the Transformers fan in me so happy that you get all these. Like, that's what I love about Haslab, even though I know some people don't like it. They don't like the exclusivity of it because, like, what's one and done, you miss it, it's over. But I really love how if they do a Haslab, you get everything. Like Victory Saber, you get Victory Saber, and you get Star Saber, and you get Victory Leo. Is that his name? Whatever. You get both characters to form Victory Saber, and you get some Micromasters. Deathsaurus, you get all of his. You get all of his Chestmasters, Breast Force Masters too. And this is a hefty gun too. Wow. Everything in this set is larger than I thought it was going to be. So let's start with the treacherous Deathcobra. And part of me wishes I kept the Combiner Wars version just so I could compare it. But I like it. And yeah, people are complaining. The jets are chunky. He's got a lot of heft. But I don't know. I think that's what makes it fun. Like this is a solid little jet. So beautiful colors. Like the yellow looks so good. The red pops. Really, really nice. So let's get Skyhawk out here. I think I'm calling him it's Hellbat. Isn't he like Fellbat in this set legally or something? But here we have our Skyhawk. Again, I think the Combiner Wars Skyhawk was my favorite out of that 5-pack just because I loved his pink color. And this is no different. Like this color just really pops. The yellow looks really good along with it as well. Fun chunky jet. And now their leader, who I've heard is probably the most compromised. But who cares? This is fun. So I can have him like that. Kind of weird. But I love the red cockpit. Like the red on the teal looks so good. Okay, good. One thing I wanted to see is if these wings moved, and they do. So this reminds me a bit of the Power of the Primes. Power of the Primes. Darkwind? Dreadwind? Darkwing? That mold. It's one of them's got wings like this, but this is fun. This is cool. So we got our 3 jets out of the way. 2 more boxes. That means one will be the tanks and one will be the helicopter and the Jaruga. So let's go with this one next. Oh, I was wrong. So this one has Kill Bison and Jaruga and a pair of pants. So again, let's move this. Let's get this out of the way. His pants. A lot of people are hating on this, but I think it's okay. I think if you want a good, accurate combiner, you do need to parts form a little bit, and I think that's fine. Just like Devastator and the frame combiners, I think it's okay. Some people don't like it, but I think it's okay. So we have that. Our Jaruga. Oh man, this is cool. This is actually a solid car. Like, I think these are Voyagers. Comparing them to modern day figures, like, I would say these are Voyager class. Like, these are fun. And then we have our Kill Bison, who looks a little odd with no accessories on him, no guns, but it's just a weird little tank thing. Is this whole thing supposed to just go on Kill Bison? What's the front and what's the back? I'm going to say... No, does that look right? Does that look better? Where's the front and where's the back? So we'll just do that for now. And then the final box, everyone knows what this is. It's our helicopter and our tank, our drill tank. So let's get this one out of the way because this guy looks awesome. And this helicopter. All right, so drill horn, who's actually looks really cool, like way better than Kill Bison. And way better than the Combiner Wars versions in alt mode. I do not like the Combiner Wars Brawl mold. I think it kind of sucks, but it looks really cool. So I hope you guys don't mind getting some cool 0.5 shots of all the characters. So this is a super wide cockpit. That's kind of funny. Yes, he is a chunky helicopter. And I've seen complaints that this doesn't fold up well enough, but you have to remember it's a bonus figure. It's the 7th figure, and we should all just be happy that it exists and that we have one. I guess his gun can go here. So, I'm happy. Now we have an empty box and a bunch of Decepticon vehicles. Alright, so I have everybody assembled the way the instructions intended in their alt modes. So let's get this one out of the way, starting with Jaruga. You can see this is really goofy, and this probably isn't the best way to deal with all the combiner kibble. Like, I actually liked how the Constructicons, Onslaught had his trailer, or not Onslaught. Onslaught does have a trailer for his combiner kibble, but Long Haul had a trailer for his combiner parts. And Menasor, the trailer of the truck again, was the combiner parts. And Superion, I actually liked his like super jet mode that he had. This one is probably the weakest out of the modern combiners, but it's fun. Like, if you want to pretend he's got a giant missile station, you can just go, there you go. He's got that. And the cool thing is there's room to peg in all of the breast force, chest force members on the figures in alt mode. So you don't have to have them sitting around somewhere else. You can have them in the alt mode. And for Kill Bison, I did check. This is the front of the tank, supposedly. So now we know. This is the front, this is the rear. And he's got his little Bison buddy in there. For Deathcobra, he's got his little snake buddy down there. And he can also go on these stands. I'll get into these stands now. These are really cool, and I like how you can connect them, you can separate them, you can use them to display the robots in robot mode or the jets in jet mode. Each jet has landing gear, which is cool, in the nose, by the nose cone. Oh, I'm gonna break it. All right. So that's a cool addition, and then you can see it's these tabs right here that it uses to connect to the stand at the back. And he's got his little hawk buddy in there. Again, I'm actually really pleased with this. Like, some people are knocking this set for looking too simple, and that's a valid complaint. But I actually like them, and I dig them, and they just seem like really fun figures. Because obviously, even though this is Haslab, you're not getting, this isn't Masterpiece. Like, this isn't MPG. This is Generations. So yeah. Again, the landing gear, his buddy down there. And I really like Hellbat's jet mode. I love the shape of it. And then something cool you can do with these stands is you can put all the accessories from 2 characters in each stand. So you have a spot for all of them to go. You have everything plugged in, super nice, super neat. I love it when the designers do that. They make everything super simple, super nice. We got his little lion buddy, his landing gear. Really lovely colors. The way everything pops with the teal on Leo Zach, I love it. So this has been the team in their alt modes. Let's get them all to their robot modes. Alright, so it probably took me a little bit too much time to transform all of these guys into the robot modes, but I like being extra careful because these are expensive figures, they're rare figures, and I don't want any breakages. I really don't want any breakages. So, yeah, let's start talking about their robot modes. So starting with Guy Hawk. Also, one thing I noticed right away is These guys are really solid. Like they all have very tight joints. Some of them even a little too tight. Some things were a little sketchy to get out. And even their like breastmasters, I was afraid that they were gonna be too small, but like a lot of the animals, their legs are ball jointed really, really tight, and it was even hard to get some of their legs out. So that's a good sign. Like these are hopefully gonna hold up for a long time. But here's his little hawk chest, who really cool. Like I said, I love these little gimmicky figures. You can turn him into a blaster for Guy Hawk. So really simple, like very, very simple figures, but still, like it's fun that you can do that. So boom. Now he looks a little more complete. Looks good. Let's give him a stick with no accessories. Beautiful. So yeah, the jet transformation reminded me quite a bit of the Combiner Wars Jet days. And he does have like a little wonky proportions, but really not that bad. And he's got big feet, but the wings do make quite a big backpack, but it's to be expected. And I honestly think I like the Combiner Wars head a little bit more. This one's really good. I just really enjoyed the Combiner Wars head. So that's Skyhawk out of the way. Hellbat next, and the same thing, pretty much the same transformation as Skyhawk. Same big feet, big boots, and I really like his head sculpt. Like he is really good too. He looks great. Again, same backpack. His wings don't stick out quite as far. It's weird seeing a bat in this orientation. Like I'm used to Rat Bat where he's like woo woo woo, but this guy can do the full flight mode. So let's turn him into a jet or into a gun first. So now flip out the little barrel, and now he's a gun. So there you go. And then to put some clothes on him, we can turn him into a chest. And now our treacherous Hellbat is fully clothed. And then on to our Leo Zach, who, like I said previously, he is definitely the most compromised, like very odd proportions. He has huge feet, and on video and some photos, his head looks too small for his body. But honestly, I think he looks fine here. I like the big wings in the back. Great colors. Like I said, this teal turquoise looks great. Really, really good colors on him. I really like his colors. So let's get his little buddy, who might be my favorite. Like I love the look of this little lion. And he had really tight rear legs, like ball jointed. So that one was a little bit of a pain. I just think that's so much fun. So let's put him back. Put the front legs in first. Put in those rear legs. And put his head in, flip this out. Now he's a gun. He's the little target master. And again, really, really tight joints. Like this elbow, very tight. I'm sure over time they'll loosen a little bit, and the more I transform them, they will. But now he's got a little gun. And then he does look a little more naked without his chest friend. So we're gonna just plug him on. And now he can lead. So that is a little more of a complete look at him. Really dig the colors, like really great colors on him. And I think he's cool. I think he looks a lot better in person than in photos. His legs and his feet are maybe a little big, but it's not the end of the world. Now onto these guys, which I kind of thought were going to be a little controversial when I saw the design. Like the shoulders are a little looking, and without their partner, their chest is very, very bare. Really thick legs. I have his gun pegged onto his back, but like you can see how these guys are compromised individually, but that's combiners for you. Here's his little buddy. And he is really cool as well. I really like that little bull. We'll do legs up, gun barrel down, head in. Let's say go. I need to say let's say go more during this. And he's got his little gun. And we'll give him... These ones kind of scare me pegging in, so you gotta make sure they're in all the way, because it's a really, really tight fit in here, and I'm not doing something right, and I'm probably gonna scratch this. So I need to use my brain. There we go. Oh, and this gun came off. So, looks a lot better with his partner in his chest. The red really adds a lot to him, but these tank guys are okay. Like, it took me a minute to understand what was going on here with the way these panels collapse, but once I got it down pat, it made more sense. The really chunky tank guy, obviously, because he's a leg, but they're okay. And we'll put him here and him here. So next up, I believe, will be the Fallen Jaruga. So he had a really simple transformation. Again, really bare without his partner there. And part of me wishes that you could collapse these wheels a bit, but I know you can't. He has this hanging off of him, but other than that, really not much of a backpack. And it's cool finally having him, because he didn't come with the Combiner Wars version. So he might have my second favorite Breastmaster. I'm not sure if I like this one more, or if I like the one that comes with Leo Zach more. But just look at that, like a little kitty. That is so cute. So we're going to go again. These ones all have the same legs up. Flip down where he holds him. Flip, make sure the barrel's flipped out. And he's got his little cat gun. So they're goofy, but I do love the gimmick. So happy they included them. Thank you, whoever at Hasbro made the push and said, we need them to come with their partners, and I'm so glad you did that. So with his partner in, again, he looks a lot better. There's a complete picture. Nice. Another one done. On to the other tank guy, and I like the head sculpts a lot. Like, I love Kill Bison's head sculpts. I think the blue on him works a little bit better for me than the brownie gold. You can see some differences, like his arms. He's got way less bulk on the arms than Kill Bison, thankfully. And even on his back, he's got a little bit less, but he does have some chunky legs again. So you're not going to avoid that. His little rhinoceros buddy, who looks like he's a beak to me. It's kind of funny. So again, let's say go and turn him into this thing. Gun. Hold gun. Very nice. And let's fill him in a bit more, just because these guys look really bare. Same thing with Kill Bison. You gotta really make sure the legs are in, and then he can make his way on, like so. So, looks a lot better with his partner. Let's put him over here. Now on to the bonus figure, which I will admit is the most jank one. So I'm really grateful we got him, but during the transformation, when I pulled his legs down apart from the jet, there was a really loud snap, and it really, really scared me. I thought something broke, or a tab broke, and I was really scared. But luckily it wasn't. It was just really tight. And I do get the complaints that this sticks out a little too far. It should have another bend, like maybe here, and go upwards. I think that would help a little bit. And his little crunch for his arm mode is fairly loose. I'd say it's looser than the other two jets. And the tab for the head, which this is a complaint that I've read on TFW, because before I could get my Liokaiser, I was like watching all the replies in the Liokaiser thread, and people were saying that this tab doesn't really want to sit in there very nicely, And I think some people have shaved it down to make it fit nicer, but it doesn't. It doesn't want to fit nice. And even if you really, really push it, it'll stay, but then yeah, it just wants to come back up. So that's a little annoying. That's the one QC issue, but it's a lot better than the toy snapping in half when you combine it, like other Haslabs. So here we have his little snake who stands up in Cobra mode. Very cute. His face almost looks like a gator. And then we'll turn him into a gun. He might have the craziest gun of them all, actually. But still very, very happy he was included because he was a bonus tier. So there we go. And if we were to peg him on, I believe just like this. Nice. Look at him. So now we have all 7 in their robot modes, and I've brought some comparisons. So if you're trying to assemble another combiner right now, Bruticus, I can show off how they look. So if you work it out price-wise, each Liokaiser member is roughly a Voyager. Now, whether you want to believe that or not is up to you. And if you just tell yourself that each member is a Voyager, it makes the price a lot easier to swallow. So here we have them next to a Voyager and a Deluxe, who admittedly are pretty much the same size. And you can see they're all like Deluxe, but I'd say that they're a little thicker than Deluxe. So they do side more to that new Voyager Combiner Deluxe, because you know what I'm talking about when I say Voyager Combiner Deluxe. So they're around the size of a Deluxe. They're just a little thicker, a little heftier. Like you can tell he's got more mass to him than Blastoff. And all the members do, especially the tanks. Like tank versus tank here, they're roughly the same height, but this guy has so much more bulk. Like I'll turn and show you. So much more bulk going on. So you can get an idea of roughly each member. And we'll bring in the big boss as well, so you guys can understand. And each one can plug onto the display base. I'm just not going to do that right now. So, and here is how Galaxy Shuttle compares. So he's definitely bigger. Like he's bigger. He's not quite as chunky as some of the members. We'll get a jet in here. And we'll get the hefty tank in here. So you can get a decent look at how they all scale. So small Voyagers, but again, they do have more of a heft in hand. Like they have the weight of a Voyager, especially these guys. So now let's do what everyone's been waiting for, the main event, and let's say go. And now we have the big guy in his combiner mode, and that took a painfully long time for me, but he is insane. So you can connect his base all together like this, like I have here, and then I've assembled his electric nunchaku, whatever you want to call it. And this guy is amazing. Once he's fully combined, he is so solid. Let me take him off of his little stand here. And this guy is just phenomenal. Like, he looks great. I know the promo photos showed him having a huge backpack, but Jaruga really does a lot to keep this whole thing together. And if you can tell, there's even spots for all of the Chestmasters in combined mode, which is another really nice detail. So, like I said, here we have him, and I think he is just great. On one thing, his knee, it's not loose, it's just not as solid as I would have thought it would be. And I'm just gonna take his little display away for now, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't really display them with their displays. I just display them as is. And he's got articulated hands and articulated finger even, which is amazing to see on a figure like this. And then yeah, his weapon just assembles like that. Connectors at each one, some stars, some spearheads. And yeah, this guy is very, very solid. So much more solid than the Combiner Wars version. The only issues I had combining him was the instructions don't really show you that you have to flip these flaps up and kind of untab the arms to slot him in. So I was having some trouble getting him to slot in. But once I got him connected, he is solid. He connects here at the bottom. These flaps come down and secure it. And then back here, you can see Jaruga hugs him here. He tabs in right there and right there. So again, very, very solid. Great range of articulation on him. Really nice ratchets. He feels really, really sturdy. Yeah. Solid legs. Like now I understand why his legs were so beefy. And even the missile pods here help Jaruga connect and just keep him really, really stable. So all in all, I think this is an amazing set. Like this might even be my favorite Haslab of all time. And yeah, you can get him to hold his gun if you want. Like there's so much you can do with him. And I was having so much fun with him. Like it really is just an awesome, awesome set. It's nice to get a combiner all in one package. You don't have to hunt for all the limbs. And yeah, he's great. And then these guys just combine like you'd expect. And we're gonna throw on Hellbat, or not Hellbat. We're gonna throw on Deathcobra. And yeah, like I said, good articulated fingers. You can lock this in here, but it kind of leaves his arm in an awkward spot. So we're gonna do that. And there you go. You can see, you can have Hellbat combined. Actually, I don't know if I put his feet right, but, and then you can have the sad Hellbat being replaced. So that's a cool option. And now I think I'm just gonna turn him into his fusion cannon mode, because I do really want to see what that looks like. So we're gonna throw Hellbat back on. I love the colors and how symmetrical he is. So I got him pretty much into his cannon mode. It's really goofy, but it's such a cool idea, because obviously he didn't do this in the show, but it's such a fun idea, an extra way to include him and to include all the Chestmasters. Now, unfortunately, my Leozak Chestmaster, I pegged him in a little too far, and when I go to take him off, it just pops off the friction peg, so I need to get that peg out of there somehow. So as much fun as cannon mode is, it's not the most secure thing, and I don't like how it sits on two Skyhawk's painted wing. I'm afraid over time it's going to scratch the yellow, or if it gets bumped with the combination, I'm afraid that that's going to scratch a little bit, so I don't really want to do that too often. But again, it's a really cool idea, and I'm grateful for the inclusion. So let's get some size comparisons. We'll bring Blast Off back so you can see how big he is, and we'll bring Brawl back so you can see how big. Some modern figures are next to him, so you can see how they look. Initially in the grayscale, in the prototype images, I thought he was the same size as Devastator. But from the head, he's a little bit shorter, but he does have like a lot of bulk, so he's just as tall. And in person, he really looks the same size. I think his head is just a teeny bit shorter. Really, it's not a big issue, and they do look really, really good together. Here he is next to Superion, so they do look really good together. And then maybe the frame combiners aren't your style and you prefer Combiner Wars. So Combiner Wars Defensor, really hoping we get another Defensor in 2028, because it doesn't look like we're going to get one for 2027, so hopefully 2028. But he does tower above the Combiner Wars guys, so if you want him to be bigger, Combiner Wars, it would look good next to. And how could we forget the big bad, the boss of the Destrons, Deathsaurus. So Deathsaurus is big. He is a huge figure, and Liokaiser towers above him. I'm really happy with the scale. I'm happy Liokaiser is bigger and that they're not the exact same size. And then here he is with all my victory bots. So if you're a victory fan like myself, you can see how they all look together, and I think they look really, really good. It would be nice to have a huge galaxy shuttle, and it would be nice to have a Dino King that's almost the same size as him, but hey, this is good, and I'm sure you can see the MicroMasters down there as well. So it's getting very late. I just wanted to show one last comparison with just Deathsaurus and Victory Saber next to him. So again, he's bigger than both of them. Very intimidating, chunky figure. I think he was worth every penny. Like, the build quality is good. I did have one of Hellbat's mushroom pegs come off when I was trying to transform his legs just because it was so tight. I'd rather the figure be too tight than too loose. And just as a comparison, this is the size of one of the Chestmasters, and then if we take off this guy, I'm not going to fully transform him right now, but you can tell they are very different sizes because they're all Chestmasters or Chestmasters. Just these ones are so tiny, and his are huge. And I was transforming him, and I accidentally scratched his chest, and I will never forgive myself. So that's something I did that really upset me. But hey, I could always fix it. Haslab Transformers Victory Liokaiser next to the two other Haslab Victory figures. Couldn't be happier. Like, I do have an issue with my Victory Saber. One of the hinges in his legs is a little bit rough, and like he came with a chip right there out of the box, which really sucked, but phenomenal figure. I've transformed him so many times. I have so much fun with Star Saber. And then Deathsaurus, I'll admit he's probably the most boring out of the group, just because all he is just a big figure, and he's got a great dino mode, and he's a lot of fun, but I get more joy out of these two because they combine and they do a lot more. But they're all amazing. They all look great together, and it makes me wonder what the next Haslab is. So I think the next Haslab is definitely going to be an Autobot. It's just a question of which Autobot. I don't think Road Caesar needs to be a Haslab. A Haslab Landcross would be pretty cool, but yeah, I'm blown away. I highly recommend him. Hopefully you backed him. If not, he's starting to pop up on eBay, probably Facebook Marketplace, anywhere you buy your Transformers. You're just gonna have to pay a premium, and that's the downside of Haslabs, where if you don't get it, you're gonna have to pay that premium. So thank you guys for watching. It's getting really late, and I'm very tired. This took longer than I expected, and I think this is my longest video I've ever made. But I had so much fun, and I'm so glad I documented everything, and I'm gonna look back on this video and that this was such a great time, and I love Transformers Victory. So let me know if you got Liokaiser down in the comments. Did you have just as much fun with him as I did? Do you love him? What do you think of him? Please let me know, and thank you for watching.